Hey everyone, Teo here. Today I'm reviewing the Yunzii AL80, a 75% 80 key wireless mechanical keyboard with a display and a body that's made with aluminum. First of all, disclaimer, this is a review unit provided by the company, and in this video I'll just present to you my findings so that you can decide whether this is worth the money. At the time of review, the price of this keyboard is US $110, which may or may not include free shipping depending on your location. And you may be able to find this keyboard at a low price on Amazon or AliExpress. There are three color options for this keyboard: silver, which is the one that I have, black, and beige. And for switch options, there's the Yunzii Cocoa Cream V2 linear switch, which is the one that I have, and Gateron Zero linear switch. By the way, my review will not cover key customization with the VIA software because I'm just using the keyboard out of the box as it is. As usual, let me give you the bottom line up front. This is a beautiful, well-made wireless mechanical keyboard. The typing experience is wonderful. The build quality is excellent. The keyboard has beautiful south-facing RGB lighting, and there are many color options or patterns to choose from. The display shows useful information such as battery life, date, time, keyboard layout, and the type of connection. And you can also switch to show a photo that you can upload to the display or show an animated GIF. The 6000 mAh battery is rated for 36 hours of battery life with the lighting or 96 hours without the lighting. This metal knob here at the corner can be used for adjusting volume, and you can press down to mute or unmute the audio. There is option for USB 2.4 GHz connection with this USB-A receiver, cable, and Bluetooth. With Bluetooth, you can pair this keyboard with up to 3 devices. Downsides: the main deal breaker is for macOS users because there is no alternate key here. When you switch from Windows to Mac keyboard layout, there is no right command key. This is still a right control key. I am someone who uses a lot of keyboard shortcuts, so I always use the right command key with other keys here for shortcuts. Without the right command key, it is incredibly inconvenient to use this keyboard with Mac OS, at least for me. If you use Mac, the right alternate key is essential because this can change from right alternate to right command. This display can only be customized by Windows software. Function keys are default to F1 to F12, not shortcuts, and I have not figured out how to switch the functionality with the VIA software. The keyboard has no feet underneath for height adjustment, but this height is actually alright for me for comfortable typing. The screws behind are Allen screws and not crosshair. Weight of this keyboard is around 1.4 kg, which is considered to be very heavy. So if you're someone who has to move your keyboard around on the table quite often, the extra weight is a downside. And after using this keyboard for around 2 weeks, I realized that I am that person who has to move the keyboard around quite often. This is a good keyboard overall, and I would say this is worth the money. Just take note of the downsides or limitations. And now let's move on to the full review. Let's take a look at the items included in the box. So this is the packaging box. It says here that they are using double shot PBT keycaps. There is tri-mode connection, and they are using custom linear switches. And the aluminum body is made with CNC aluminum. So in the box, there is this card that shows you all the keyboard shortcuts, a user guide, 2 extra switches. This is the Yunzii Cocoa Cream V2 linear switches, and if I remember correctly, these are pre-looped at the factory. A keycap and switch puller, a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. There are some replacement keycaps, and notice these are for Mac users, and earlier I said you can't get the right command, but there are 2 command keys here. I use both Windows and Mac, so if I need to buy a keyboard, I will always look for one that comes with a right alternate key because it means that you may be able to change this to right command when you switch from Windows to Mac keyboard layout. And this keyboard, by the way, is the Yunzii B75 Pro, which is my main keyboard. I have shown this keyboard several times in my YouTube video, and I have received a few comments from those videos asking me what keyboard this is, so I guess people think this keyboard is beautiful, and it is beautiful. I actually do not have a video review for the Yunzii B75 Pro keyboard because after I updated the firmware, sometimes the battery life would drain out 100% overnight for no reason, and I cannot figure out why. So right now I'm just using this keyboard as a wired keyboard to my Mac. Okay, let's compare the design. Both keyboards look good. This has 80 keys, if I remember correct. This has 82 keys, so the difference is there are insert and end keys here, and here there's only page up, page down, and the display. So this has the display, which is actually quite useful because it can show you the battery life. So when you see the battery life is low, you can just charge the keyboard. This is really heavy. This is made with plastic or some sort of plastic, and this is more lightweight. And I actually move my keyboard on the table very often, like every other day, every day. So I would actually prefer to use this keyboard simply because I have to move my keyboard around quite often, and I would prefer not to move this around that often because it's so heavy. The function keys for this keyboard are actually shortcuts, so I can use the keys to adjust volume, media playback, adjust brightness, but for the AL80, these are F1 to F12. If you guys know how to use the VIA software to change these function keys to shortcuts, let me know in the comment section below. I use shortcuts instead of function keys, so with this as function keys, it's actually quite inconvenient for me. So one of the shortcuts that I use very often is to adjust brightness, which is F1 and F2. So on this keyboard, I can just press F1, F2, but on this keyboard, I have to use two hands to hold down function and press F1 and F2. You can see this keyboard is actually slightly bigger. So on the back, there are feet for two height adjustment, but on this or with this keyboard, there is no feet, so there is no height adjustment, and there's this pretty cool looking mirror, colored mirror, which looks nice, but when you have the keyboard like this, you will not see the mirror, and when you lift the keyboard to move it around, I find that this will attract fingerprints like so easily. So the mirror is nice to have, but not necessary. This light is always on when the keyboard is connected wirelessly. So if it's blinking, it means there is no connection, or if it's looking, this light is always on when the keyboard is connected wirelessly. So if this is blinking, it means the keyboard is looking for a wireless connection. This keyboard comes with the milk switch, and I find the sound to be thinner. And this comes with the Cocoa Cream V2 linear switch, and the sound is thicker. The sound is also deeper. I definitely prefer the sound of this versus the other one. If you have to customize the keys, you can use the VIA software, which is actually a web-based software. You have to go to Yunzii's website to download the JSON file for this keyboard. Then go to this website, which is linked from Yunzii's website. Upload that keyboard configuration file to the website, and the keyboard layout will appear here. I did not look at this software in great detail, so I cannot tell you whether you can switch the function keys to shortcuts, but from what I can see here under layer, it seems like there are shortcuts, so I guess it may be possible to switch the function keys to shortcuts. Anyway, there are many customizations possible here, so you can even create your own macros. Wow, there are really a lot of options here. And you can adjust or change the lighting here as well. So I guess it may be possible to switch the right control key into a right command key. Oh, the keyboard has to be connected to cable to your computer if you want to customize the keyboard. To customize the LCD display, you have to download this Windows software from Yunzii's website, and this is how the software looks, and it's actually quite straightforward to use. You can upload your picture, a static picture here for screen number 2, or upload an animated GIF here for screen number 3, and for screen number 1, which shows the date and time and battery life, you can set the time and date here. You can also put a small picture on the screen number 1. The default animated GIF on screen number 1 is actually this moving eyeball, and you can switch to different screens using the function 8, 9, and 10. Alright, to conclude, this is a beautiful and well-made keyboard with wonderful typing experience. I can recommend this very easily to Windows users. For Mac users, I would probably not recommend this unless you are willing to take the risk to buy this first and then figure out whether you can change the right control to right command. Alright, so if you guys are interested to buy this keyboard, you can check out the purchase links that I have for you in the video description below. Thanks for watching. See you guys again. Bye.